Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is Societal Narcissism. No contribution. Was going through some comments, and this one kind of grabbed me because I can expand on it and get into some of the stuff that I've been thinking that's been going through my mind um, about the community as a whole, about the battle here that we're having with narcissism and societal narcissism and the whole likes. And it really relates to people like the one from the histrionic borderline is insufferable, those two videos. Because there's a lot of them on this channel. There's a lot of them on all the narcissism channels, the ones that are much, much bigger than mine. And this is something that I have, like, personally, I have a real issue with. Like, it's a real conflict and worry and something I think about a lot, and it keeps me, it's like one of those things that you think about at night that keeps you up. Let me get into this. And this comment was left by somebody named Cavalry Trooper on the histrionic borderline is insufferable. Ollie, I'm not only a fellow survivor of narc abuse by boomers, but I'm also a triple decorated combat vet of Iraq that was wounded in action. I saved at least 8 men's lives. I'm not here for praise, but to share some hard-earned experience. I recently underwent treatment at one of the best clinics in the world for dealing with combat-related PTSD. It's the only time the VA ever did me a solid. Well, you could thank the Orange Man maybe for that, for at least cleaning up some portion of the VA, because I've talked to other vets, and they said, like, the VA is still a mess, but it got much better under Trump in certain areas. So that's good. It was the opinion of the excellent staff that we are subject matter experts on PTSD, even above them, and that was coming from the resident psychologist and psychiatrist. Having been diagnosed twice by qualified VA psychologists with combat-related post-traumatic stress, I have a few things to share. Firstly, you hit the nail on the head when you said this lady was waving it around like a badge, using it to excuse her bad behavior. He's meaning the PTSD. Yeah. And that's my fear. And that's a thing that keeps me up at night and makes me question what I'm doing here. Because am I giving borderlines and true abusers the green light, the golden ticket to wave around this PTSD, and I'm abused because I've given them a vernacular, and I might have given them validation because it might be somebody maybe I don't see through. And it's not even, and to be honest with you, it's not even the people that write into me. Because the people that write into me that are like that, I can spot them. I can usually spot them pretty quickly. Or eventually they're going to reveal themselves. Okay, it's the ones that don't send in or don't comment or maybe just stay in the comments. I'm not talking about anybody specifically today, but people that are getting, and I've talked about this, people that are getting their tips and their jollies by watching other people's misery merchants who are now going to turn around and take our at least understanding of our own abuse that took us decades and decades to figure out, and now turn around and use it and make themselves the victims. Like, I knew it. I knew it when I first started talking about this online. I knew it was only going to be a matter of time before the true abusers came in and did did what they always do: take what's ours and make it their own, and accuse us of being what they are. Because if you ask my now you ask my ex-wife, okay, and you go look at her, from what I'm hearing, because I can't see it, you know, all she posts about, well, she's not posting about liquor and drinking. It, like, apparently that's every other post. It's about narcissists and being, so again, so they're gonna take, and she, I know why she's doing it, because of what I do. So now, yes, now she knows the vernacular. So now she's going to use it against me. And I'm not even saying, and I've never come on here and said my ex-wife is a full-on narcissist. I've talked about, she was a victim by her family. I'll tell you that. She was their comic relief. She was their punching bag. They abandoned her to South Carolina. I mean, but I knew it was only going to be a matter of time. Like, not only personally, but, as this channel had grown and gotten fairly, was getting fairly decent traffic at one point. And, they always expose themselves once they finally write in. The ones who do get the courage to finally write in, it becomes so obvious. But how many are out there that don't write in, that are now out there just, absorbing this stuff? And so let me finish this, because I'm only halfway through the comment. I have unfortunately witnessed the tide of fake and phonies since the military industrial complex went public about PTSD. There are a lot of former soldiers who use it as an excuse to get money, attention, and sympathy. The trademarks of faking it until you make it are all the same. Wear it like a badge of honor, wave it in people's faces, and use it as an excuse for poor behavior and treatment of others. That's just the thing, and that's a huge red flag when I see this. Everybody's a narcissist in your life. Every single person you come across. And I have PTSD, and that's a red flag, because I know how I react to it, and I know how most of the people on this channel react to it, as we are introverts. We don't want to be waving anything around. It takes us years to say anything to anybody. To be out there, just waving it around in everybody's face, whoever, it's not what they do. No, it's not what we do. Even me running this channel, I don't talk about this shit in real life. I don't talk about it to the people that are around me in my real life. I don't talk about it. And it sucks, because the purpose of these channels was giving people validation. And you got these, it's the same type of people who are, obsessed with the Watts murder case. It's tragic, and but what is the obsession with it? What is it? You don't know them, you're not related to them, they're not in your neighborhood, but there's people that were just to this day that are obsessed with it, because they're misery merchants. They get off on other people's misery. PTSD can be a complex thing brought on by childhood trauma and other traumas stacked, but statistically, most people tend to get over it after at least 6 months post incident. The problem is when the trauma was severe enough, the symptoms last longer, and sometimes they don't show up for years after the events. And the thing is, the difference is for the people on my channel compared to like a wartime PTSD. Eventually, the deployment ends, or the war ends. Okay, when you civilian life PTSD, it never ends. The shelling never ends. The attacks never end. You can never let your guard down for the sneak attack, for the major attack, for the full-on assault, because the second you do is when it's coming. And believe me, and I don't, in the wartime, that's lifetime. You're physically seeing people die, and worried for your life. Not to say that some people aren't worried for their lives, but when there's actual weapons and munitions involved, yeah, you're worried for your life. It seems it's longer lasting. Like, why you can, if it happened one time, then yeah, maybe after 6 months it would be over. You could get past it. But this stuff doesn't happen just one time. It's the gift that keeps on giving. I don't want to downplay anyone who has legitimate PTSD, but right now it's the goose that lays the golden paycheck. And I'm always weary to people being boastful about it. It's not exactly a stigmatism no one wants attached to them in a casual conversation. There are plenty of people who legitimately suffer from PTSD, and anyone playing it up is doing us all a disservice. Exactly. They make it hard for the people who are actually trying to get over, because the demons, as demons do, infiltrate. They always infiltrate. They're demons. And it's not a stigmatism anymore. Being a borderline is not a stigmatism anymore. It drives me insane. These borderline personality support groups, and trying to use it as an excuse for your shitty behavior. No, you can freaking control it anytime you want. They're monsters. And that's what bothers me. That's what keeps you up at night. I'm like, am I making some of these borderlines worse? Because I know there's plenty of people I help. I know for a fact there's plenty of people that I've helped, and they tell me what my videos have done for them, and it's changed their lives, and it's just made them see things they never would have saw on their own. So I know it. But am I able to help enough people to offset whatever damage is being done by these emotional vampires feeding off the legitimate people's stories, the legitimate people's suffering, the legitimate people's pain? That's what that's the stuff that I think about. And I got to tell myself, you know what? If you don't push back and don't talk about it, they're just going to own the whole thing. They're just going to take the whole thing and make it their own. And it's like, no. I mean, that's the reason why a couple people suggested, even Charlene suggested, like, why don't I just start another channel and see if that has the same problem? Because this one still needs to exist. Because this is where it started, like all of this started. you know, I don't know how many people are going to jump over to it, because like people didn't jump over to library, and they didn't jump over to BitChute, and they didn't really jump over. And this is when I was still doing pretty good numbers, and didn't jump over to Rumble. People are set in their ways. But the comment is good because, you know, it opens up a lot. It's just the fakeness, and this whole world is just so dark, and it's so everybody can just turn on each other at the drop of a dime. Like, I don't know what's going on with, because I don't really watch either. I've never watched the full video from either one of them. I know both who they both are. I know what they both do. I know what they both are about. I respect their channels for what they are. But there's some kind of fight going on with Sam Vakinin and Spartan Life Coach, and videos are being copyrighted and taken down and flagged, and somebody's going to lose their channel. And see, this is why when people ask me to comment on other people's channels and this is why, because there's feelings, and I don't know who did what to who, and who's teaming up with what. And no, it's like you just don't know. That's why I always kind of just like being in my corner. I didn't mind a smaller subscriber base. I didn't mind it, because the bigger you get, the bigger target you have. And so it's like you see stuff like that, and it's just like, what am I looking at? Because as far as I was concerned, I thought they both were trying to help people, but like now it's turned into and I don't know what. And again, not taking sides, don't know what happened, but to see two channels for two guys who have been around for that long go at it like that, is the whole thing toxic and corrupt? Is the whole thing just bad? And maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. Maybe the haters are right. Maybe it's me. Maybe it's all of us. So, but thank you, Cavalry Trooper, for the comment. And it is a good point, because it does, and that's why I jump on these borderlines the way I do when I catch them, because they're doing a disservice. It's a fake accusation, really, and it hurts everybody. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. And thank you everybody for watching. And if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, something you'd like me to expose, you'd like to set up a Skype phone call, have a private video made, you'd like to sponsor a video like this for someone who needs help and can't afford it, or just make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all of this goes away. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the Cash App, Zelle, PayPal, and email link in the description box below. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been Societal Narcissism. Take care, everyone.